Good afternoon, beautiful people. I'm sorry I'm late. One of the funniest things is that, um, this cold, 2-day cold snap is coming, and I did not expect for people to be out the way they were. But anyway, I'm sorry I'm late, but here's the video. So I'm going to start harvesting my turmeric, and I have a couple of tools that I use. This is what I normally use. This is my Hori Hori knife. It's a Japanese gardening knife, and as you can see here, it has depth gauges on it. It has a serrated blade for cutting through roots, and then a smooth blade for just regular slicing. I love that. I love that knife. There are two things I'm going to try today. These are awls. These are gardening awls, right? So this one is a 2.5, and this one is a 3.5. So I did not harvest turmeric last year because I wanted to give it a chance to recover from the back-to-back frost that we had in 21 and 22. So I left it alone. So what that probably did was, and I was surprised that it did come back, but it did. It came back, and as you may have seen in my earlier pictures, the leaves were giant. They were beautiful. They were healthy looking until the heat set in. So today I'm going to try these because that root ball is going to be ginormous. So I'm going to start with the small one first to see if I could break it up in the dirt. And then if I'm having a hard time, I will switch to the larger one. And of course, this attaches to a drill. Okay, so like I said, I'm starting with the smaller one, so let me just go ahead and put this in. And you know, truth be told, I like using tools. Love using tools. Come on. There we go. You make sure it's in here good and tight. Are you doing it right? Yeah, okay. There we go. You want this to be good and tight, and when you use the awl, you want to be able to control it. Okay, so don't go. So I keep it at a low torque just to get down in there and allow it to do what it needs to do. Okay, that being said, let me take you with me. I need to make a little adjustment here. So I need to build this up. I need to put this down. And that's the last you'll see of my beautiful face for a minute. And I'm going to... Okay, so here you see my turmeric. Okay, all of the leaves have died back, right? Which is what we want. So I'm trying to use my rear camera because it has better definition. I also have another camera set up so that you can see that. Now all of this dead vegetation, I am only going to lightly cut it away, but I am not going to throw it out. Okay, I'm not. What I'm going to do, see that how good that serrated blade is? I'm just going to put this aside, and okay, I think this is like a slightly better view. So yeah, so here I am. I'm just cutting this up, pulling it out the way, right? Now, let me see if I can show you a couple of things. Where is this looking? Let's see. Okay. So if you see right here, this is a turmeric rhizome that's come up. And here, and there goes a stink bug. So everywhere there was a stalk, you will see either a nub So there's one here. Everywhere there was one. This is a piece that's sticking up right there. So what I'm going to do, pull this out the way, okay, and I'm going to probe around to see where there's dirt and where there's root. Okay. See here? Some there, some there. So I'm trying to see where I can cut through here. Yeah, it gets kind of strong, tough here. But yeah, let's see if that awl thingy is gonna work for me. So, leaving Hori Hori right there. Now, let's see. Oh, there it goes. Yeah, it's digging through it. I think I kind of like the Hori Hori better. But what it is doing is giving me the ability to see more. I'm going to put some, I have to cook dinner later, so I'm going to put some gloves on. So I'm not digging up digging through my hands terribly. So there's one. Look at that. So I'm going to continue doing this. I have I'm putting these in a garden thingy that I use when I'm repotting. So I'm not throwing it away. I'm putting it in my garden hookah. So basically, that's what you want to do. You want to try and loosen it up. Now, like I said, I didn't harvest last year, so why don't we just start doing it from an edge? I mean, if you can see here, that's some beautiful color on that turmeric. So I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna wiggle a little left. Now it's not just those nubs that you will find. I mean, they do have fibrous roots as well. Okay, here you go. See? And this is what my turmeric looks like. So you want to pull them up in their clusters. Since this is what I'm taking, I'm not being very gentle with it. Okay? This is hard on your back if you're standing up. Let me grab a chair. So, let's see. So here we have it. Here's a piece. See, it does have other thin roots on it. So what I'm going to do with this, I'll need to take it over to the hose and wash it. Sometimes it seems like I have different varieties because this is a nice color, but it's not as orange as this one. So that's going there. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? That's my turmeric. So that's going over there. So when you, and just so you know, I got this turmeric out the grocery store. Okay? I bought some organic turmeric, and what I did with it was bring it home. I did this in, well, like, if in case you didn't know, I'm down here in, look at that, that's a little nubby that's coming off. You might just throw that back in there. I got some organic turmeric from the grocery store. So here's what you do with it. I brought it home. I soaked it in some warm water with some peroxide in it overnight. We'll just throw that back in. With some peroxide in it overnight. That does two things. It helps to ensure that there's, look at that piece. Do you know how much this stuff is in the grocery store? This stuff is like, well, down here in Texas anyway, it's like $4.99 a pound. And this little piece here is basically, it feels like half a pound. Now, actually, it feels like 8 ounces. So, and then after I soaked it overnight, I gave it a good rinse, and I put it in some organic potting mix. Okay? And then I just watered it because it likes well-drained, moist soil, not dropping wet. So I'm going to try and harvest as much as I can of this because I think I pretty much lucked out with it not dying back. I mean, that frost killed my ginger. I had ginger in the pot next to this one. Yeah, look at that. So, and I just watered it. The leaves came up. You don't harvest it your first year. You just let it acclimate to its new environment, and you let it start its root system. Once it acclimates and it feels happy and comfortable, then the rhizomes will start to grow, so you have something to split. Let's see, what else do I have here? Here's another big one. Oops. Some of it's damage I did from the awe. So maybe next time I won't do that, I'll just cut. So here we go. And you know, you just very lightly pull at it and it comes apart. Especially when you're pulling it up from the dirt like that. So what you normally see in the store, they cut all of this off. They cut all of the side roots, the nutrition and feeding roots, I call them, off. And they sell it to you. So I don't know if you have any questions, but this is how I harvest my turmeric. Look at that. You know, I got about 2 pounds on the floor already in that bag. But let's see. Got any more here? Under my Hori Hori knife? I mean, these things, guys, these things are amazing. If you do decide to get one, you want one that is made of steel, and you want to make sure that the blade, which is here, comes all the way through the handle. Okay? Don't get one that stops here because it's not going to be strong enough. This is just a hilt to give you something to stop with. You know, because when you're digging, you don't want your hands to slide down and get sliced on the serrated or the sharp side of the blade. So let's look for some more How about we do this little nest over here? Let's see, because that looks like it's got some stuff. So I'm gonna go down. And basically, that's what a Hori Hori knife is for. And I'm gonna just pull. Now, I got this pot. I got this pot from, it looks like something that, I got this pot from, was it Home Depot? The orange box store, sorry, or the blue box store. Not Wally World. It may have come from the blue box store, but what I would, that's deep roots. What I recommend is wait until they go on sale, because the first ones I bought for just like testing out to see how well they worked with growing anything. So the first thing I grew were herbs, and they worked great, because basically they have they have a screen at the bottom, and they have cutouts in the corners of a mat that you put them on, and basically you fill it with soil, and where those cutouts are, it acts as a wick to pull moisture up, to pull the excess water that drains out through the bottom to feed the plant. So it makes it really hard to overwater, because the bottom of your pot is never directly in contact with the water. It's like a basin, sort of like a self-watering type deal. And so it's very forgiving. It's very forgiving, and I would fill it up maybe like once a week, you know, and that would just help with, look at this cluster, man. That would help with not overwatering, and make sure that the plant has enough that it wants and needs. Okay, so I'm breaking this off so I can manage it a little bit. There. See? So I can manage it a little bit. Now, I don't know what their price is now. You can try looking for them on Amazon. But basically what I'll do with this video, I will see if they have them on Amazon, or see where I can find them. And I'll put a link in the description of where these are available. Now, again, I suggest you wait till they're on sale. This big one I bought at the time. Now, I've had it a couple of years. When I purchased this one was $25.99. Now, again, it was a couple of years ago, so it's going to be more, you know, supply chain issues and all that other stuff. And the more shallow ones, the standard ones, I bought those for 20 bucks, and they were at a blue box store for home improvement. Okay, and you know, so again, I'm not affiliated with these companies in any way, but I'm just letting you know where I got these from. Oh, wow. Oh, there we go. There we go. Look at there. Isn't that beautiful? Yeah. So these are looking really nice as I pull them apart. So each one of these should be able to be pulled apart, and just be careful when you're pulling your turmeric that you're trying to keep your rhizomes, your fingers, in as good as condition as, oops, drop one, I'll go get that, as they can be, so that when you store them or dry them, you will have a quality herb that you can use, either in cooking, because turmeric is one of the main ingredients in curry, right? And it's also used medicinally. So people have bought this in vitamin form, liquid form. There are several companies that sell liquid turmeric with a little bit of black pepper. So I will see how it works with drying some of them. I have a, that's small. I'll just throw that back in. These are very forgiving. If they grow, they grow. If they don't, you have more. Okay? So, this is what I'm doing here. I'm hoping my other camera is getting some of this. I might have to try and like splice and put in some pictures, and I'm really not good at editing because I'm not a cinematographer. I'm just a lady who's an herbalist that likes growing her own stuff sometimes. So, yeah. So I have a air fryer toaster, dual thing toaster my son bought me for my birthday last year because he didn't like my old convection toaster oven. He said it was small, it was old, and it just needed to be replaced because I had it for 9 years. So he got me this new thing, and on it is a dehydration function. So I'm going to see how that works. Have you noticed that whenever I pull off one of these, they kind of split apart? So basically, this is a healthy thing we're doing for this turmeric, is that will stimulate it to produce more come the springtime. Now, I've got quite a bit over here. Look at this. But I do have to go and wash it. And once I've done that, I'll put some pictures in with this so that you can see. Look at that. Beautiful. This is a little baby. I'm going to throw that one back. Let's see how much I get come springtime. Now, I think this will be the last one I take for now. I don't want to shock this clump too badly. But basically, that's how I harvest turmeric. Turmeric. Curcumin longa. Curcuma in Spanish, curcuma. But that's basically how I did it. So here I am. I'm just going to, if I find any other little nubbies, I'll throw that back in. I'm just going to cover over. Okay. I'm just going to cover this back over. Now there's some that I didn't harvest on this side and up here, but that's okay. That's okay. You can harvest this twice. I'm doing this now. Some people harvest again in the spring where they didn't pull up. So you notice I dug in over on this side. So in the springtime, I can dig over here and leave the cluster in the middle and see how that goes. So now that I've gotten this done, what I'm going to do is try to insulate it for the cold weather coming up. So what I told you I was doing, I was keeping this, right? So I'm going to put the old leaves back on top to help insulate it from the frost. Okay? You know, these have a scent to themselves as well. You know, and guys, if you have fall leaves, sometimes if you took them and you mulched them, right? If you took them and you mulched them, you're putting nutrients back into the earth. Okay? So I'm doing that. Putting this back on top, and it's to help insulate it against the cold that we're going to have in a couple of days. In addition to putting the leaves back, I'm also going to cover it with some newspaper. Ugh. Okay, let me take these gloves off because they're making me clumsy. I have another pair that I usually wear, but I just could not find them. I could not find them to save my life. I have no idea where they were. So, let's see. I'll put some that way. Put some here. Just to help them a little bit. But, ladies and gentlemen,